Good morning, students. Let's continue our chapter 14. We are on page 107. Yesterday, we studied about the North Mountainous region. Today, we are going to study about the Eastern Himalaya. We saw yesterday the height of the different mountains at the Northern Mountainous region. And today, we are going to see about Great Northern Plain, which is the part of Eastern Himalaya. So, please be with me, open your textbook and let's continue. Ranges situated in the eastern part of Himalayan ranges have lesser height. Some of them are more famous as hills. These hills in eastern Himalayas are spread as smaller ranges. Among them, Patkai Hills are situated in Arunachal Pradesh, Naga Hills in Nagaland, and Lushai Mizo Hills in Mizoram. These hills are located near the eastern border and have their continuation in Arakan Yoma range of Myanmar. Garo, Khasi, and Jaintia hills are in Meghalaya. Mountainous regions have more rainfall, so dense forests have developed here. As this is a forested area, roads and railways have not developed much. Now, students, yesterday I explained it to you, I told you that Himalayas is not a single mountain. It is the complex of many mountainous ranges. And we saw the height of the different mountains, Mount Everest, how high it is, how many meters tall it is. Today, as we are seeing over here, we are studying that the ranges situated in the eastern part of Himalayan ranges have the lesser height. Yesterday, the mountains which we saw they had the more height. There were more or less 48 peaks, 42 or 41 peaks were there, exceeding the height of 7,000 meters. But over here, we are seeing the ranges, the hills, which are lesser in height. And some of them are more as famous hills. These hills in eastern Himalaya are spread as smaller ranges. Among them, now underline these Patkai hills are situated in Arunachal Pradesh and Naga hills in Nagaland. Lushai or Mizo hills in Mizoram. Now, you will be asked the question in the MCQ, therefore, you will have to underline that. Which hills are situated in Nagaland? Or, if Patkai hills are situated in Arunachal Pradesh, where Naga hills have been situated. So, students, you should be able to write the answer, Nagaland. Therefore, I want you to underline and remember which hill is in which place, which state. These hills are located near the eastern border and have their continuation in Arakan Yoma range of Myanmar. Once again, underline that. It has their continuation in Arakan Yoma range of Myanmar. Once again, open the bracket and underline. Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills are in Meghalaya. Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills are in Meghalaya. Make the bracket. So, which three hills are in Meghalaya? Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. Mountainous regions have more rainfall. So, dense forests have been developed here. Since there is a more rainfall, the forests are also dense. They are also very, very thick. As this is the forested area, roads and railways have not developed much. Since it is a forested area, you will not see that the roads have been developed there more. They may not have the good roads, just as you call it Kacha road and Pakka road. There, the roads are not like as you get to see over here. And so, why it is, students? Because of the dense forest. And why the dense forest? Because of the heavy rainfall. Now, let's see about the Great Northern Plain. This northern plain is located between the northern mountainous region and the southern peninsula. Students, make a bracket. This northern plain which we are going to study now, between the northern mountainous region and the southern peninsula. Southern peninsula, we have seen this southern peninsula, and so students, look here. As we study ahead, this plain is formed due to the alluvial sediments brought by Himalayan rivers, such as the Himalayan rivers which have brought the alluvial sediments. What do you understand by the sediments? The small particles, okay? So these sediments which are carried by the rivers, and which are they? Satluj, Ganga and Brahmaputra. At some places, the layers of the sediments are about 50 meters thick. So students, how thick the sediments are? The level of the sediments in some places is about 50 meters thick. Underline that. And by which rivers have they been carried? They have been carried by the rivers such as Satluj, Ganga and Brahmaputra. Now, go ahead. As we see over here, as these plains occupy very large area in North India, these are known as Great Plains of Northern India. Students, why are they called as why have they got this name? Because they occupy the large area in North India, and so therefore they are called, or they are known as the Great Plains of Northern India. About which plains we are studying, students? We are studying about the Great Northern Plain. Now, once again, I just explain you in short. These Great Northern Plains are, students, where are they? They are in the northern mountainous region and the southern peninsula. This plain is formed due to the alluvial sediments. Alluvial also, we are going to study later on the different types of soil. Okay, so alluvial is a type of soil, the sediments which are brought by Himalayan rivers. Okay, and which rivers are there? They are Satluj, Ganga and Brahmaputra. At some places, the layers of the sediments are about 50 meters thick. The thickness has been mentioned, and they are 50 meters thick. That thick they are, and therefore they occupy the large area in the northern India, and therefore they are known, or they are called as the Great Plains of Northern India. Just turn the page, student, and come to the page 108. Let's continue from there. Students, don't forget, we are studying right now about the Great Northern Plains. We are studying about the Great Northern Plains into Eastern Himalaya. Do not forget that, and let's continue. Be with me on the next page. The plain is about 2,400 kilometers long. It is considered as one of the largest river plains of the world. Make a bracket and underline 2,400 kilometers long, and it is considered as one of the largest river plains. Its western part is narrower than the eastern part. The plain is almost a level land. This plain is almost a level land. Yesterday I explained it to you. We saw what is called as a mountain, valleys, volcanoes, plains. And so this plain, which is the largest, considered to be the largest, which has the 200 and 400 kilometers length, and its western part is narrower than the eastern part. Okay, and it is almost a level land. It is almost a level land. None of its part is higher than 180 meters from sea level. The plain is very narrow near Delhi. Near Delhi, the plain is very, very narrow. The Satluj plain lies to the west of Delhi, while the Ganga plain is in the east. So, students, make a bracket to this sentence. The Satluj plain lies to the west of Delhi, and Ganga plain is in the east. This plain is considered to be the most prosperous region of India. Which plain, student? We are studying about the Great Northern Plains. And so students, therefore, when we are studying these plains, that is the Great Northern Plain, the Satluj plain and the Ganga plain is considered to be the most prosperous region of India. Important cities such as Delhi, Kanpur, Lucknow, Allahabad, Varanasi, Patna and Kolkata, etc. are situated in this plain. Students, you should remember this. You should remember this. Make a bracket. We saw Satluj and Ganga are the most important, most prosperous and important region in this India. And what happens? Which city, students? Which important cities? Delhi, Kanpur, Lucknow, Allahabad, Varanasi, Patna and Kolkata are situated in this plain. Okay, this plain we are talking about the Satluj and Ganga plain. Next, see the next paragraph. Open the bracket from here, student. Sindhu river and its tributaries, that is Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas and Satluj originates in Himalayas. Generally, a region between two rivers is called Doab. Students, generally, a region between two rivers is called as Doab. Make a bracket. What does it mean? Do means two and Ab means water. Thus, the plain which is formed by 5 rivers is called Punjab. Panj plus Ab meaning Pach, that is Punjab, Panja, Ab means water. Most of this plain is in Pakistan. So students, you know how did Punjab get its name? How did the state of Punjab get its name? Panj means 5 and Ab means water. That is how it gets its name. And where is the most of its plain? It's in Pakistan. On the basis, come to the next paragraph. On the basis of physiography, the plain is divided into 4 parts. And which are they? Students, Bhabar, Tarai, Bangar and Khadar. You should remember these 4 names. The plain is divided into 4 parts and they are Bhabar, Tarai, Bangar and Khadar. A small and narrow belt of gravels, that is stones, pebbles and stones, lies parallel to the river from Sindhu up to Tista river in Shivalik foothills. Make a bracket. Students, what is it? That the stones lies parallel to the river from Sindhu up to Tista river in the Shivalik foothills. Yesterday I had showed you this. The different foothills, small hills and all, the holy places, the hills which we had seen yesterday in the map. This belt is almost 8 to 16 km wide. It is called as Bhabar. The range which is 8 to 16 km wide, plus it is a small and narrow belt of gravels and stone which lies parallel to the river from Sindhu up to the Tista river in Shivalik foothills is known as, or it's called as Bhabar. The Tarai region, which is more humid and marshy, comes next. So after Bhabar comes the Tarai region. How is it, students? It is humid and marshy. Dense forests and diversified wildlife are seen here. The dense forest and diversified wildlife. We will be studying wildlife later on. The old alluvium in the plains is called Bangar. Students, if you are asked the question, what do you mean by Bangar? So in one sentence, what you will be writing, students? The old alluvium in the plains is called as Bangar. Due to consistent deposition, it develops a terrace shape which is at a higher level than flood plains. The new sediment of the flood is called Khadar. So students, here are the different terms, the 4 terms which have been mentioned over here. So what is Khadar? The new sediments of the flood is called Khadar, whereas the old alluvium is called as Bangar. What is, students, what is Bhabar? We already saw what is Bhabar, students. Bhabar is a small and narrow belt of gravel and stones which lies parallel to the river from Sindhu up to Tista river in Shivalik foothills, which is almost 8 to 6 kilometer wide. 8 to 16 kilometers wide is known as, or is called as Bhabar. Whereas Tarai region which is marshy and humid, which comes next to this, is called as a Tarai region, which has a dense forest, diversified wildlife. Okay, so students, this is about northern plains. Okay, now just have a look at something that I am going to show it to you. Students, yesterday I explained you already about this, isn't it? Yesterday we studied about this already. Where is the Shivalik hills? Over here. And so, students, once again I want you to have a look at this. Once again, I want you to have a look at this. We saw Garo and Khasi hills. Over here, just look, Garo and Khasi hills in Meghalaya. Okay, Jaintia hills. I also told you about the Naga hills in Nagaland. Okay, Arakan range, Lushai hills in Mizo. So students, today we studied about this all. Yesterday we have seen this. Today we studied about this Garo hills, Khasi hills, this Meghalaya over here. Then we also saw about the Jaintia hills, Patkai ranges in Arunachal Pradesh, Naga hills in Nagaland, Lusha hills in Mizoram. Just have a look at this. Then, just see this map. I will be explaining it to you tomorrow. But just have a look at this. So tomorrow when we start, nothing should be new for you. Just have a look at this map. You can see the Malabar coast, then Coromandel coast, Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay? The Konkan Malabar coast as well as the Konkan coast which comes into the Deccan Plateau, central heights of Malwa Plateau, which we are going to study about this tomorrow. These are the peninsular plateaus and the coastal regions. Okay? Just have a look at this, which we will be studying tomorrow. Here are some questions for you to be answered, which are very, very easy. Why is the northern region of India called as the Great Northern Plains, which we saw in that first paragraph itself? How did the state of Punjab get its name? You already answered. What do you mean by Bengal? Now, in how many parts can we divide the peninsula, which we have not studied, which we will be studying tomorrow? So, right now you have to answer these first 3 questions. The next 4 questions are for tomorrow. That is what is Kyle and all, we will be studying tomorrow. Okay, students? So, I'm going to stop the class over here. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.